Hello, and welcome once again to another episode of Third Action. I'm your lovely host, Jason, and these are the same three blind mice that were here last week. In the bottom left, we have Char playing Regan, Belladonna, Academy Wizard.
Hi.
In the bottom middle, we have Will playing Mayhem, Vigilante Fighter. That might have been so quiet that we didn't hear it.
You're muted.
Or you're muted. Or you're trolling us.
Hi.
There we go.
Like,
And at the bottom right, we have Alex playing Felix Milos, Maestro Bard.
Hello.
And today is a day of all days. Tomorrow will also be a day of all days, unfortunately. It's probably too late for you to go vote by the time you hear this, unless you're in chat right now, in which case, go vote. But all things aside, hopefully this finds you well in the future, or in the present. What do we got? Last time on Third Action. Actually, hold on, we need a word from our sponsor. The marriage. Ooh. The marriage card. This one lets you immediately stride as a free action without provoking reactions. You and all allies within 5 feet gain a +2 untyped bonus to AC. And this effect ends when there are no living allies within 5 feet, or after 10 minutes, whichever comes first. So move next to your friends and stay together.
Does not work with undead allies. Good to know.
Correct.
No, my friends.
Oh, well, it works on living allies, but if all of your allies are unliving, then it no longer works. It's till death do us part.
No.
Some of us aren't even parting in death.
Must stay here.
But anyway, last time on Third Action, our heroes, at the request of an Ares Yellow Eyes, made their way down into the sewers of Corvosa to help ease tensions with a radical revolutionary were-rat, Giriggs, who planned to usurp the humans above and do all sorts of violence, presumably. You managed to convince the other were-rats to kind of hear you out, but Giriggs was not so enthused about your plans and lashed out at you. In response, you have blinded him permanently. Very cool, very cool. And then he went wild. But you have successfully knocked him out. He is now lying next to a pile of grease, while the other were-rats surround you. And I mean, not surround. They are around you, and are looking on in awe as you have defeated their leader. And that, I think, is where we will go ahead and jump in as soon as I fix the camera. There we go. Cool. Unpause. So, we have an unconscious Giriggs lying on the floor. After, I think it was Mayhem who dealt the final blow? Yes, Mayhem dealt a final bludgeon to the head, knocking the were-rat out. And a hush falls over the room as the other were-rats kind of murmur to themselves. What do you guys do?
He's like knocked out. He's not bleeding or anything. He's just unconscious. It's all.
Correct,
it's all
yeah.
good. Okay. Cool.
Despite his tokens saying he's dying, he's not dying. He's just unconscious.
Okay. Maybe we should restrain him in some way.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, like at least separate
Just so
him
we
from his
can
weapons.
talk.
Get to work on that
Sorry,
now.
we're rat people. We're not gonna hurt him anymore. We're just-
What do we do now? Yeah. Giriggs was all we had. What
You
about
can
the surface?
You can do whatever you want. And I think like that's the important part, is you don't have to do what Garrick says.
But we just want to be treated as equals.
And I think that's fair, and you more than deserve it.
They're not
But-
going to listen to us up there. They'll never listen to us.
You thought attacking them was going to help?
They all kind of go like a little bit sheepish and withdraw a little bit, and murmur to themselves.
Also, that is a cat in there, correct?
Yes, there's a little cage that these three were-rats are standing in front of, and there's a little black house cat. It was like inside a little cage, a little pet cage.
Regan's like looking
Yep.
at it.
Pondering why there's that. But anyway, busy tying up Gurgits.
Gearigs.
Thank you.
Gearigs.
Earrings.
It is entirely possible, and you are more within your right to contact the city above and open a conversation. But attacking the surface would only bring more violence. I can't advocate for what Garrix was planning, but if you want to get in contact with the people who run the city guard, that we might be able to help you with.
But they'll never listen to us. Yeah, they'll never listen to us. Never.
Why do you think that?
Because they have not tried.
A familiar voice says from the tunnel to the west as Ares steps out through the muck.
Oh, hello.
And they all look back at her.
I see you have done as I asked.
And she kind of calmly steps forward.
We made every attempt to have a conversation, but I don't think it was likely to happen.
But he is not dead.
She says,
No.
looking at Garrix.
Wasn't planning to kill him.
That is good. Perhaps he can still be made to see reason at the end of all of this. As for the rest
Right.
of you,
Seeing.
She quirks an ear at that.
We'll see how well he sees when he wakes up. Anyway, sorry.
Well, injuries aside, I suppose, the rest of you should feel ashamed for trying to resort to such violence without even attempting diplomacy first.
They all kind of sheepishly back away a little bit.
Look, there is a future for us were-rats here in Corvosa, but we have to at least try to make them see it our way first, without resorting to killing innocents. Yes, they have done our people wrong, but Gearig's way is not the way that will lead to peace.
They all kind of whisper.
You two.
And she says, pointing at the two were-rats over here.
Make sure that the dire rats are okay. You have neglected them. They are unconscious in the water. Yes, ma'am.
and they kind of like scurry off to go deal with that.
You, help him tie up Gearig's. Yes, ma'am.
And she comes over here to the other three.
And why don't you make yourselves useful? Let that cat out of there. And you, go clean up. You've made such a mess here. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
One of them goes to start like cleaning up the grease that you've cast on the floor.
Yeah, put
the
all
other
that
starts
there.
like tidying up. This one unlocks the little cage so that the cat can get out.
It's free. Is the cat doing well? Is it sickly or is it healthy?
It's pretty sickly.
No.
It hasn't been fed super well, and it looks very, very scared. And it's kind
What
of
have you been...
like trepidatiously stepping out of the cage.
What have you been doing to this cat? It's very unwell.
We've been playing games with it.
Does the cat also enjoy these games?
No.
Well, my goodness. For people who want equal treatment, you sure like torturing innocent little creatures like this cat.
I didn't mean it.
Shame, shame. You must treat this cat better.
He
Go get the
lowers
cat
his head,
some food.
Yes, ma'am.
and he'll kind of scurry off.
This poor cat.
Is it doing okay?
Looks exact-
Is there a
It's a little
saucer anywhere
unnerved.
nearby? Can I pour out a healing potion for it?
Yeah, you could. I mean, it's not physically hurt, so a healing potion won't do much. It needs food.
Just hungry.
Just gotta get better.
Hopefully he finds
Ares looks around. You, the weapons, where has he put them? Back in his den, ma'am.
Ares nods and
Leave him with them for the moment. Come.
Oh,
and she'll go squeeze through this kind of gap in the wall over here.
oh, that is a tight squeeze.
It is a tight squeeze, but as long as you are taking your time, you can definitely do it.
Before she leaves, Regan will leave a ration for the cat on the floor. And then, yep, skitter away. Not very... This cat looks too similar to me.
It's unsettling.
It was just the first black cat I could find.
Oh no, they're just yes.
Okay, yeah, you leave like a little dried fish for it, and it's just like eating at it weakly. And then you go catch up with the others who have slipped through this crack in the wall. And you find yourselves in this kind of back area of the den. There's in the southern, southeastern corner, there's a kind of mound where some straw, some nice pillows have been kind of stacked up, and there's kind of scraps of cloth and cheese strewn about. And on the north side is basically a veritable armory. Weapons, armor, torches, crates of, if you take a look. Let's see, can I reveal this? There we go. Lots of different stuff. Crossbows, bombs, an alchemical crossbow, some chain shirts, manacles of various kinds, a couple of weapon runes, etc.
A
Some
trumpet?
sacks. Yeah, a broken trumpet. It still looks pretty expensive. It's made of copper. But yeah, it doesn't function currently. It could be repaired though.
Please, if you wouldn't mind taking these, or whatever you wish to take of them, we should probably dispose of these. We shouldn't need weapons like this for what we plan to do now. Oh, excuse me, you may be muted, Mr. Mayhem.
That keeps happening to me somehow. I'm not sure how. I was going to say, we don't want to leave you all defenseless, so maybe not taking everything, but...
And you may need some of the funds from these items to help pay for whatever your plan is next. This is a sizable collection that Garrix has created.
Perhaps you're
we
correct.
talk to Nia, see if Nia would take these on and then return the funds to you.
I can manage that part on my own, I suppose. If there's anything that would be of particular aid to you, however, please feel free.
Oh.
Thank you.
Very well.
I think I'll try and repair this poor trumpet.
You mentioned before, I heard something about connections with the guard?
Yes, we know the field marshal, and she's a kind and intelligent person who would do anything to keep Corvosa from breaking out into more conflict.
Is she a just woman?
Yes, I believe her to be.
Then all I would ask is that you introduce me to her. I would like to have us were-rats assist in these troubled times that the city has found itself in. If we can help cure or provide support to those who have been rendered helpless by this disease rampaging the city, maybe the people will come to see us as something better.
I would be happy to set up the conversation. And I think that any offer of assistance to the city would be more than accepted. And similarly, a degree of protection from random acts of violence for your people is equally a reasonable request that I think can be something that she can help provide.
Yes, it's time that we stop living in the shadows and face the world above. I know that many of us here have already severed their ties to their previous lives, but we were all human once, and we can all be some semblance of human again. But please, help yourselves to whatever you wish. I will deal with my kin for the time being. And thank you. I knew contacting you would not be a mistake.
As she says, kind of approaching you, Mayhem, with like both of her hands, like reaching for your hand.
I'll let her take it, I guess. Well, we're all here to help Corvosa. This is our home. We have to protect it.
Yes, the three of you are quite something. I hope that you'll continue to help protect the city for some time. Now I should probably be off.
And she kind of hobbles her way back over to the wall and squeezes through it. And you hear her start bossing around the other were-rats.
Well, some decent stuff in here for our supplies, but try not to be greedy.
Same.
I also took the alchemical crossbow, but if anyone wants it that's not me, that works too. Because my range attacks are usually magic.
It's not bad to have something physical for backup, but I also grabbed this chainmail. Looks like it's got some fancy rune on it, so we can probably get that off of there and put it onto something else if you all want, or you could wear it, I suppose, as is.
And I actually found a couple of other runes that I swear I put in my inventory and have promptly disappeared. Yeah, there they are. An armor and weapon potency rune. So if you have other things that you want to make more amazing, we can make that happen.
We can definitely look at some of that stuff later. There wasn't anything in the bedding at all, right? Besides cheese.
No. If there was, I think I combined it with this pile of stuff anyway.
Okay, that's fine. But
Yeah.
no sign that Garrix was paid off or inspired to do this by anyone
No,
external.
I mean, it seems like he was inspired by the murder that happened.
Right.
No seeming connections to anything else. It seems like they've maybe been like you recognize some of this stuff as being guard issue. A lot of this was probably stolen from the city guard.
Hopefully I
Some
don't see much
maybe
blood on
stolen
this.
from just various places. Clearly they weren't crafting the stuff themselves down here. They don't have the apparatuses for it. But judging by the sorts of things they had, it seemed like they were planning on capturing and kidnapping people and perhaps bombing buildings, etc.
Well, we'll take this oil while we're at it, just in case.
Yeah,
Never
that is a
know.
sizable quantity of oil and matchsticks.
You never know when that much oil and matchsticks are going to come in handy.
That's true.
I also
Alright, let me
grabbed some
see.
manacles.
Mayhem took a striking rune. Some potency, a greater potency crystal got taken. Alchemical crossbow, alchemist fire, lesser and moderate. Smoke ball, lesser. The bent copper trumpet, weapon potency rune +1. Some average manacles, armor potency rune +1. Regan took 60 crossbow bolts. Mayhem took the +1 chainmail. Regan picked up a sterling carpenter's toolkit. Felix took a blasting stone moderate. There's also a moderate glue bomb. Mayhem grabbed the +1 longsword. Regan took a bunch of scavenged food scraps.
Yum.
And Mayhem grabbed a bunch of oil and the matchsticks. Which are not quite... the matchsticks are like the new version of Tinder Twig or whatever it's called.
Okay, so
So they're an actual like alchemical item.
neat. Creating a flame, it's much faster with flint and steel than with flint and steel. It's just one action.
It's basically a match, but
Yeah. But chemical thing anyway. Well, we'll leave the rest to them. Make our way back up to the top and leave all this behind.
Yeah, you can pass through just fine. They I can warp you out. We don't have to walk through. But the cat seems to actually the cat's probably run off by this point. Whoops.
Bye, kitty cat.
I would hope so.
I'm surprised the cat didn't run off immediately, but
The fish is gone, and so is the cat when you step out.
Good.
And the were-rats are seemingly following Ares' orders, pretty much to a T. And yeah, you're let free with no harm, or no additional harm.
On our way out, I'll let Ares know that she can find me in the Script and Scrimshaw whenever she wants to have that conversation with the field marshal.
Perhaps I'll see you tomorrow.
Sounds like a plan. I'll prepare a cheese plate.
Perhaps tomorrow night, if possible.
Of course.
One evening charcuterie.
All right.
Greatly
Well.
superior to midday charcuterie.
You're back in the city. What do you want to do?
And our feet are covered in poop.
Yes, you are kind of dirty.
I'm dirty. I feel like shit. I look like shit.
We probably smell like it a little bit.
I'm sure I smell like it. Is there a good place to clean up nearby?
Well, you have your choice of the harbor, or...
No.
I said a good place. I know what gets tossed into that harbor. I've done some of it.
Oh my god.
The old fishery is right across the street.
Oh, yummy. At least
Gosh,
that
this
smells better.
neighborhood.
Yeah, it's the beheading neighborhood and fishery and doo-doo. Why did you buy property here?
You know, there's a lot of foot traffic. It's a very well located part in terms of like being in the middle of every other place you want to get to.
Mm.
Hopefully that means people stop.
Hey, it's kept me in business this long. But yeah, we can go back to the script and Scrimshaw. You're welcome to clean up. I think at this
All right.
point we're just using the place to keep ourselves safe.
While we're going inside, I do want to take note of how many people are on the street and observing us.
Oh, actually seeing you on the street?
Yeah.
Where'd my dice go?
Like, I know that
My
it's
crimson dice was
lockish, downish, but...
You know, casually having Mayhem walk into the bar in the middle of the day.
Right. It's not, like, terrible bad, but people are going to start to notice at some point that Mayhem comes here a lot. I mean, people already have.
People
So-
already have.
So,
Ah, and even
That is
more-
literally how this kicked
Yeah.
off.
yeah.
I mean, if you want to go dive into the bush across the street to change outfits.
This is the bar that Mayhem comes to. Come have a drink and take, not pictures, but you know, it's a tourist attraction now.
Maybe that'll be the rebrand. It's no longer the script and Scrimshaw. It's Mayhem's Den. A little cardboard standee of you right outside the door.
So yeah, I'll say it's around 2:30 on this main street. There's like, I mean, there's still surprisingly few people. There's maybe only like 3 people on this block nearby.
Okay. So, I'm not going to worry too much about being seen then. We'll make our way in, find the bathroom, and start
So
washing.
yeah, the ladies are not currently here. They've all run off to their places to grab stuff. Actually, Lizzie might still... Oh no, Lizzie was gonna go with Tace to go grab her children, so...
Mhm.
Yeah, you head upstairs to the bathroom, Felix's bath, and do some washing up, cleaning up. If you want to take time to treat wounds, I can just skip a couple hours and assume that you guys are back to full.
I'd appreciate that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Kind of hurt a little bit.
So 2 hours, everybody's full HP.
I think we're still working on what the hell to do to help the city.
I'm starting to think right now it's just doing whatever we can do to help the city. Though we should probably report into the field marshal, let her know that she'll have a visitor tomorrow night. Unless we intend to surprise her with a were-rat.
I don't intend to surprise her. I think that she'll at least be happy that instead of another attack on the city, that she gets to have a conversation. And maybe even get a little bit of help.
More pleasant conversation, at least, than she's had recently. Alright. Well, in the meantime, I do want to get out and do some sort of good. I have some anti-plague, but I've only got 10. Do we hold on to it, or do we use it?
That's a good question, in that, like, 10 against the problems of the city is not even close to enough.
Yeah.
But given to the right people could really help. You could go see how the guard is doing and see who amongst them could use the supplies. We've tried to keep everyone here as safe as we can by limiting their exposure,
which is appreciated.
But keeping 1 or 2 here could also help in case someone has to be exposed.
I think then I will report into the guard and check on everyone's status. And I'll bring a handful of the anti-plague with me, just in case, but I don't know. There's a lot of guards, and I don't know if that'll be enough to help out any who are anything but the most serious right now. But we will change into Tully.
All right. It's Tully time. What about... So Tully is going to go off to work.
Yes.
What are Regan and Felix going to do?
Regan pulls out a sheet of paper from her bag. And it's like, Felix, do you know where I can get a bunch of these copied and printed? And it's a little notice that's like, it's like, oh, lost cat, except it's not a lost cat. It's like, help us track the disease. Where do you think you got sick? And then a bunch of like, send a letter to here. And it's just like a contact thing. And the address of the script and scrimshaws on it. Like, I'd like to get these put up in the north.
I don't immediately know, but I bet Nia would. And I was going to go over there to see about having this armor potency rune stuck onto the armor that I have. So I bet she could help us out.
Ooh, excellent. Yes. I'll just need a few 100 copies.
This is our homebrewed exposure and contact tracing system.
Yes. This is my attempt at doing something that probably does not have an answer in this game at all, but it sounds like something Regan would do.
It's a valid approach because I tried to go ask the underground to figure out if we had a lead and came up 0. So now is the time to invent random things.
Maybe the overground will know.
Exactly.
All right. So you guys are going over to Nia's then to discuss some things with her.
Indeed.
Yes.
All right. While you're doing that, let's go to the office. The Citadel. That. Say.
I should also revise. I only have 5 anti-plague left. We used 5 earlier. So.
And each one lasts for 24 hours, I think?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes, for 24 hours.
Yeah, when you arrive at the Citadel, you'd already done a most of your shift this morning, and when you return, it's just as busy as it was earlier, if not even busier. There are tons of these physicians about, speaking with the various guards, as well as a woman that I don't think you've seen before. I'll show you what she looks like in a second. This guy. Obviously a bunch of guards. Oh, sure, I'll do a Corvosan guard. Why not? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so when you arrive in kind of like the main barracks area, you see a blonde woman in Grey Maiden armor speaking with a few guards. She's got a rather finely dressed gentleman, as well as a few of these physicians nearby. And she looks to you. She sees you walking in and says, "Hey, you there. Guard."
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on duty?
Yes, ma'am.
She hands you a stack of flyers. These notices will need to be posted around Midland.
What are the flyers of?
You unfurl the flyer, and let me show you what it is. I'll find where I put it. Let's see. Show players. Observers. There we go. Alright. Attention. By decree of Her Royal Majesty, the Radiant Queen Iliosa, all citizens are to aid and admit the newly established Queen's physicians in this time of urgency. These royal agents will extend healing to those who are ill and organize a defense against the spreading affliction known as Bloodveil. They are to be allowed access to any home or building they deem necessary in the course of their duties. All those suffering from disease or disorder are to submit themselves to the physicians for treatment. To aid in the duties of the Queen's physicians, know that the Order of the Grey Maidens shall provide support as needed. The Maidens answer directly to the Crimson Throne and will be called upon as necessary to augment and strengthen the peace where the city guards will not suffice. Impeding or distracting the Queen's physicians or the Grey Maidens in pursuit of their duties is punishable by imprisonment. Impersonating one of the Queen's physicians or Grey Maiden is punishable by death. Purposefully spreading Bloodveil is punishable by torture and then death. The Queen's physicians will be making the rounds in every city district henceforth until Her Majesty deems this misfortune abated.
Very good. Do you require this being announced as well, or just posted?
Heralds will be announcing it later this evening, but we'd like to get these notices posted first.
All right. Do I recognize the well-dressed man at all? You mentioned I hadn't, and I don't know who this.
Yes. Here, let me show you what she looks like. Here's this woman. She's blonde-haired lady, kind of short-cropped blonde hair. Crimson Maiden uniform, the kind of silvery steel outfit with accents of red cloak. She's got like some kind of cool saber attached at the hip. And she's got scars over both of her eyes in the shape of kind of crosses. The gentleman seems like some kind of nerd or dandy, unclear.
Nerd.
He's wearing kind of a loose brown cloak, or not cloak, jacket. You can see various doctor instruments sticking out of the pockets. He does have like a rapier at his side, but he's also currently holding what looks like some kind of large medical text. And as you're kind of staring at him, you must not have met. This is Dr. Reiner Davilis.
Ah,
He's the
So you
head
are
of the Queen's Physicians. And I will spell that for you. He is Reiner Davilis, like that. Daviaulus. Yes, Reiner. And I don't believe we've met either.
no, ma'am. I imagine not. Tullios
Yeah.
Couldarn.
Corditra Destrade. And I will spell that as well, because she has a crazy name. Corditra Destrade.
Distade. Okay.
Kordaitra. Corditra. And
I
Destaid.
got none of that correct at all.
Destaid.
Easy to make out the Queen's Physicians and the Grey Maidens, at least by appearance. So important to know who to be deferent to. Of course, ma'am.
Indeed. I
Anything else I
hope
can do?
there's no hard feelings.
No, of course not. We all serve Queen and City.
She nods. Very well. Carry on your duties.
Yes, ma'am. As she's leaving, those scars on her eyes, can I get any... I'm probably not good at medicine at all. No. Do I have any sense of what might have caused that kind of scarring? Like, if I... It looks like it's crisscrossed across her eyes in the art. Is that actually...
She has kind of like X-shaped, like cross-shaped scars over her eyes. You could give me like a medicine check, sure.
This is gonna go splendid. 5. Sorry. 5. I have a +1.
They look like slash marks. Who knows?
Weird. But she still has her eyes.
Yeah, she does still have her eyes.
Very clearly able to see, so...
Yes.
Usually those kind of cuts would be much more devastating, but she got away with both eyes intact. Very skilled. In the meantime, we will head out and start posting flyers in Midland.
All right.
All over Midland.
She would have given you some sense of like she wants you to kind of spread them out.
Yeah.
And you can see as you're leaving that other guards have been given these same notices to go post in other districts as well. You just happened to walk in just at the right time to get the stack.
Hooray. Well, I will distribute through Midland, and I will keep an eye on the other guards and just see what their general reaction is from the populace.
The other guards seem a little bit miffed that they're being sort of relegated to flyer duty, while it seems like earlier you were being ordered to like help escort a couple of the Queen's Physicians around to help them set up their stuff, but now it seems like that duty is entirely given to the Grey Maidens, and the way it's worded in the notice, it seems a bit like the guard is being subtly dissed by the Queen.
I mean, I read it as the guard is overwhelmed because there's a bunch of shit going on, so...
Yeah, other guard members are not taking it that way.
That's fair.
But that is to say, you have a valid read. Not all of your coworkers are reading it that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Back to the others. You arrive at the Gilded Knight. I can kind of summarize this conversation, I guess. What were you trying to get from her?
I think mainly the flyers that Regan wanted to stamp out, and then I wanted to apply this armor potency room to my armor.
The armor rune you could probably get handled down in the gold market. As for the flyers... Oh, I do know a scribe shop. I could get these sent out for you.
Ooh, yes, that would be wonderful.
How many were you thinking of? You wanted to put these all around the town?
Mostly around the north area and Old Corvosa.
North Point and Old Corvosa. Well, it's hard to say exactly what the price would be. How about I figure it out for you, and I'll pay for it out of pocket and let you know what the charge will be.
Sure, sounds good.
Thank you.
It won't be 1 billion gold.
Oh, no, it shouldn't be. I imagine it's... The guy owes me a favor. I'm sure he'll give it to me for a deal, she says, cracking her
exciting.
knuckles.
Ah. What are the yeah. Ah. Well, that's good.
Is there anything else you need?
That's it for me for now.
Yeah, same. Unless you can suddenly cure the disease afflicting the city, I think that we're all just doing our best here.
Sadly, no. I've heard of people talking about cures, but I don't believe any of that stuff.
Indeed. Like, even what good the temples could do seems to be little in the face of whatever this disease is. But I hope you can stay well.
I hope so. She looks around. Business has been a bit slow lately anyway. Perhaps it's time for a brief vacation.
I hear Hars is pretty this time of year.
Pretty boring, she says, kind of twirling her hair.
It may not be a metropolis, but it is. There's lots of wide open spaces, and it is free of the noise and problems afflicting the city.
Perhaps, but I kind of like the noise myself. Just maybe not the disease that comes with it.
Fair.
But we'll see. I haven't quite packed my bags yet.
I understand if you choose to take a vacation, but I'm always appreciate the fact that you help us whenever we have some random and weird problem that we have no solution to. Plus, you keep the bar stocked.
That's what I'm here for, darling.
Stay healthy.
I'll try. All right. And unless you needed anything else there, we've got some flyers that are being sent off to the printing press.
Yay, more
To get
flyers for
scribed.
the city.
Everyone's flyering the city as far as
It's going to be competing
Carrying
flyers.
the banner.
All right. What else do you want to do with the evening?
What is today?
Today is Calistral the 24th, which is a Sunday.
Ah, yes, I have a long time before my test.
I think we had one more day before we're supposed to go back to Eel's End, so we have time. We have time to kill.
So, tomorrow we have a meeting at Eel's End and a meeting with Crescent
yeah.
Croft. Have we
About
double booked
our
ourselves?
Hills End meeting.
Well, I think Mayhem is supposed to be at one of those, at least in terms of impressing Ares. Which do you want to attend?
I think that would be the best one for Mayhem to attend. You seem to have DeVargo reasonably understood, so...
I'm assuming you guys are currently talking over Zalara phone.
Yes, By the way, we've double booked.
It's a little awkward. Can we just change that reservation? I think Tully would have at some point headed back to the script and scrimshaw for the evening once he's done his duties.
Okay, so yeah, like a couple
Make
hours
sure that
later.
He's
Sure.
come back and returned with the family.
Yeah.
Yourself,
In the
Skip.
evening, Tace is there,
Tace,
Brianna's there, or Brianne, something like. Where
Brianna.
did she go? Brianna.
42
I
minutes.
don't know where I put her. B-R-I. There she is. Ah, she is under the Verisians category. I forgot I made that category. That'll do it. Brianna, Charlo, and Rello, and Tace.
The gang's all here?
Gang's all here.
Yeah.
Sure, let's go to the script and scrimshaw. Downstairs.
In terms of loose ends that I had to chase after, I think there was the name of that city on the map. Yavika? Yakima. I have calling it Yakima now.
I think it was YVICCA.
Yeah, I have no pronunciation key for that in my head. Sorry.
That's fine. Yeah, if you wanted to look that up, tell me how you are going to do so. Oop, we have 2 shields for flames. Oh, we have 2, almost everyone. Delete them.
Like, I think it would be in relation to the place that is Conqueror's Bay, because it was like noted there on the map. So I would try to look up what information I could gather on Conqueror's Bay and see if that name comes up anywhere in relation to it.
Where would you do that?
This feels like a library sort of thing. Like, I don't have in all of the things that you would find in the script and scrimshaw. I don't know that I'd have an atlas or even just basic information. And I sort of have the university ruled out right now because they're not accepting visitors. So is there a different library that I might visit in the city?
Yes, there are some libraries in the University District that you can check out. That belong to the library of, or the University of Corvosa, not the Academy.
Fair enough. Then yeah, that's where I would probably go. Is try to go find information at one of those libraries, just about Conqueror's Bay in general, and try and connect this name to it in some fashion. I
Okay,
also admit this is a long shot.
Yeah. I'll say that you were doing this in the time that Tully was working. Go ahead and give me... that'll be a society check, unless you have a relevant lore, but I think your lores don't.
Can I assist? 'Cause
Yes, you could
I
assist.
love books.
I can't
would-
find a way to connect alcohol to this.
You could also you could choose who's assisting, who's doing the main check. I would allow academia lore. Academia lore, society, I think are the 2 main ones.
I'm happy to assist Regan if you think you have a better idea as to where to look for this book.
All mine are plus 11s. Can you beat a plus 11?
In no way, shape, or form.
Okay. Both my society and academia are 11.
Yeah, so I'll roll a society to assist first.
Sure.
All right, let me reveal that. That is a 21. That will succeed, so you'll get a +1 circumstance bonus to the check. And I would suggest doing the lore, because if they're the same, lore has a lower DC. As a general rule.
+1. Whee! Oh, I should have misread that.
Ah, too late. 14.
Yeah, I will treat it
Um,
as if I didn't see it, which I wouldn't have re-rolled. So
Okay. Yeah, looking through tons of documents and maps and things, history about the bay and the area, you don't see anything related to this name. Ivica does not show up in any book or map that you see.
do I think I might be able to find it in the academy itself, since this isn't the academy library?
I mean, the resources here are
Are they similar?
probably pretty similar, like
Okay.
this, unless this is a magic subject. But currently, you're just looking at maps and political stuff. There's no reason why
Okay.
this university wouldn't have stuff like that.
Maybe it is a magic thing.
I mean, it could be. We tried the more mundane topics.
It's
It
a
wouldn't hurt
person
to check.
or place or thing.
We literally do not know. It could be someone's name, and we're searching like in a map for
Yeah.
a city.
I can search for magical people with the name Yvikia.
Ivica?
Ivica, yeah.
Ivica? Something.
Yvicha.
Yeah, I mean, basically the same check. It'd be kind of like history.
So just the same check that I did.
I mean, you could just try it a second time to try that angle.
You need to roll for support
Yeah, if
again.
If an aid is desired.
I'm
that is
juggling
a-
that and my own visitor, who is coming to the table.
Jack's here. The 20 will succeed, so +1.
Alright. I will blind it this time.
Excellent.
Yay. There it goes.
Okay. That's the +1. Okay. Yeah, looking through any records of like Corvosan citizens or like notable Corvosans, notable academy figures, the name isn't showing up. So it doesn't seem like it's a name of anyone who's like in Corvosa, or like maybe you'd need to go check like legal documents to see if literally anyone has this name in Corvosa. That would require going to like the Longacre building and checking the city hall records. But yeah, you're not seeing any like big obvious like, ooh, Queen Ivica or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does not appear to be a major figure in Corvosan history. Does not appear to be a place near Corvosa.
Well, sure is a mystery.
But after those hours, you feel like you've kind of exhausted the material there. And I presume return to the Script and Scrimshaw where you run into Tully.
Well, have you any leads at all? Anything come up?
No.
Hopefully, the flyers that you're getting duplicated might give us something, at least in terms of a part of the city to investigate.
Maybe. Maybe we'll have more info tomorrow. From DeVargo. Hi.
Regan, are you planning to sneak back into the university every night?
No,
Or
I
are you
would
getting back?
never.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Regan looks off into the distance.
Not sure how to engage with that anymore. All right.
Nope. I wouldn't do that.
Would never.
I forgot
You're
to get
welcome to
Tully
stay here
and
if you
myself
want to
blank.
stay here, but I think you have other plans.
Oh, actually, Felix also handing out hero points because I forgot to do so at the beginning of the session.
Ooh. I would never sneak anywhere or break in anywhere.
Breaking out, though.
Yes, let's do it. I left, and I will be going back in
Through the front door?
through an open door. Yes.
That's not what I asked, but okay.
Is it in the front? Who's to say what the front is?
I'm pretty sure they decided that when they built the building. But
It's north. The front is north. It's very obvious. Yes. Yeah, there's many doors.
Queen has sent for a number of doctors and physicians, and they'll be going about the city and trying to help with this blood veil, they're calling it.
Oh.
Got a copy of the flyer that I was passing out.
Well, this is very sternly written, but it's good that they'll be providing help.
And this disease has a name now. How fancy.
Do we know anything about, or have you heard anything about blood veil?
Yeah, is
Regan?
blood veil like a real disease, or is this just a name they came up with?
It seems to be a name they came up with.
So they
Yeah.
just named it.
I learned it from you right this second. So presumably someone has showed up in the city and at least designated this disease into something.
Ah, so
And
lucky they
it-
got to name it.
It sort of fits. The symptoms that you guys have seen so far involve a lot of these kind of like big red blisters, and a lot of them kind of cluster around the upper forehead and like high cheeks. So it kind of like as they pop, it kind of looks like a veil of blood on their faces.
Pleasant. Probably that new head doctor or whoever. Dr. Davalis? Rainer Davalis? Davalis?
Have I heard of that person?
If I heard of this
Um,
person.
You could give me blind society checks.
Yeah, I will do that.
I will do this thing.
Is this
Whether
a
or not
famous
it's good.
doctor?
Yeah, if he's so good, I should know about him.
Is he played by Hugh Laurie?
It's house.
Didn't see a cane,
Oh,
but it could be wrong.
Who would play him? Hugh Laurie's actually not the worst choice to play him. It's funny. He has like different pieces of art, and this one he looks a bit younger than I think he's supposed to. But whatever. Hello, Tabletop Rolls. Thank you for the raid. Hello, Cosmic Deity 746. I like to say names. What are these little alien guys? Oh, Crypt Frogs. Hello.
So frogs.
In any case, let's see. So we got some rolls for society. Felix, the name sounds kind of familiar. Well, was it the name of some doctor from like Magnamar, maybe? The other two of you haven't heard of him before.
Must not be that good of a doctor if I haven't heard of him.
Well, he had the ear of one of the new leaders of the Grey Maidens. Corditra?
Gosh. Seems like the Queen is recruiting new people every week to try and combat some of these problems. I wonder where she's finding them all.
A lot of people need food. To get food,
I
you need
know
money.
anything about Cordite? Oh my god, I wrote her name down.
Corditra.
Corditra, yes. Is that a
Give
familiar
me society
name?
checks on those.
I'm
on her. if you want.
societying everybody. Who are these people? What are they doing?
I think I know Rainier from some rumors I heard about like patients he took in Magnamar. He's
Ooh,
high-powered
big
doctor,
City.
big city doctor.
Big city guy.
Oh, sorry. Is this the next? We have
Yes.
2 rolls. Are you rolling as well, Tully?
Sure, I'll think about it.
Okay.
Secret. Nope, not that button. That button.
You didn't immediately recognize her offhand.
Right, that's why I was originally not
Yeah.
going to, but having thought on it, maybe she was former guard or something.
Tully, you're pretty sure she's not former guard. Felix, you haven't met her. Let me double check. One sec.
Regan, you have an extensive history with her.
Yeah, like, I was best friends with her.
You were actually neighbors growing up on the same street when you were very young. She did move away when you were 7, so it's understandable that you may not remember her very clearly, but it comes back to you in time.
I have no memories from before I was 10.
There you go. That'll do
But
it.
I remember the first day I turned 10. And
The
from
moment
then
you
on,
turned 10, you were like, my brain is on.
Yeah. Photographic memory. Do not forget anything. I
Okay.
almost choked on my drink.
That's bad for you.
You were exactly 10 years old and you met her.
Yeah. Oh.
She
I never
saved you
forget
from a
face.
burning building.
She had the scars back then as well.
Maybe that's how she got those scars.
Yeah.
You want to know how
I
she got
gave
those
them to
scars?
her.
Yes!
We got
What a
in a-
twist.
That's how this
A
is all
fight.
connected.
Regan's
Yeah,
been
what
spreading the blood veil this whole time.
is Regan? How long has Regan lived in Corvosa? Like her entire life, or did she just come to
you're
come here for
asking.
school?
She's lived a majority of her life. Start that
Okay.
vaguely. But I not the whole thing.
Not the whole thing. Corditra is a pretty unique name. You remember meeting someone by that name? A woman, human woman, blonde hair. It was, some time ago, maybe before you started school. Where would you even have met her?
What was my role?
Just
Gee,
Really hot is the answer.
damn. I never forget a face.
Just a neighbor on the
Weird.
street?
Would she have been? Yeah, sure. No.
Want to be more than that.
She's a neighboring type.
I'm not. the
Okay, actually,
neighbor.
sure. Yeah, maybe when you moved to the city, you remember meeting a couple of, maybe you lived in like an apartment building. You remember one of your neighbors in the apartment building, was a woman by the name of, Corditra. She was, a little intense, but friendly. She maybe kind of like maybe a little bit punk in attitude. But would you know what she did at the time? You're not sure what sort of job she had. Maybe something manual labor, but you didn't interact with her that much. You didn't seem to have many shared interests or hobbies.
Ah,
And you probably
she
just met her a couple of
oh.
times in the building.
I wonder if it's the same person who... Oh, sneezing. Sorry, Candy's... Are you okay? I think he's okay. He's coughing. Oh, no. But I wonder if she's the same person who used to live in the building I used to live in years and years ago. How rare could that name be? I guess I never met anyone else with it.
Can't say I have either.
Is she blonde?
Yeah, short blonde hair.
Oh. Did she didn't, not that I would know she had scars, but back then was her face scarred?
No.
Okay. I don't bring that up because I don't know if it is now. But I was just curious. Well, she was always very intense, but I think she meant well, so maybe it's a good position for her.
If she's the fighting type, and I don't know, she looked like the fighting type, so.
Ooh.
Well, we'll see them around town for sure. I don't know what to make of these Grey Maidens yet, but... What... And Tully's voice is going to drop a little bit further, to be more quiet. Do we think the Queen is behind this still? Or at all?
Behind the disease?
Behind the chaos. I don't know if she brought in the disease or if she's just exploiting it, but...
It is awfully convenient to give cover to the grab of power that the flyers you are handing out represents. The Queen basically has given herself and her agents the ability to enter any home for any reason and to kill and torture anyone who argues with her.
It's not ideal.
Regan looks at the paper closer.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you read it, you tell me.
No, you're correct.
That is what it sounds like.
At this point, the city is effectively under martial law, and we are seemingly going there willingly because it's better than the plague that is afflicting us. If the Queen didn't plan this, it certainly is convenient timing.
And the fact that the ship was either a distraction or a false ploy to make it seem like that's where the plague came from also makes me think that there was some act of bringing the plague itself. It's very convenient timing based on everything else going on, though letting loose a disease in a city is, I mean, besides awful, just very unplanned, chaotic.
I'll grant you chaotic, but this does not seem unplanned. Like, we found connections to a cult that has a member who seemingly curses cities and towns with diseases. Like, this is what they do. The ship we saw very clearly was planned to be a decoy down to being empty, save for the supplies necessary to falsely announce it as a plague ship.
Mm-hmm.
And now suddenly the Queen has fancy, celebrity doctor showing up from Magnamar, here to solve all of our problems. This screams well planned.
This is a weird question. Would we know of anybody? There really wouldn't be a lot of news getting around, I imagine, but I'm wondering if this is really starting to be... Is this a poor person's disease? Does that make sense? Or is there any sign that there are areas that are not being hit or affected nearly as much, or at all?
that is something you could try to find out, but you don't know that currently.
Okay.
It seems to, from your understanding, it seems to have hit citywide.
That's what I thought, but now I'm wondering if the Queen or if anybody was to release this, you would think they would have some sort of countermeasure in case it got away from them. Right? You wouldn't want to let yourself or somebody that's important to your plan get caught up by some sort of disease. Maybe you would protect or find a way to protect the well-off, those who fund whatever's going on.
To yes and your idea, not necessarily the well-off, just the well-connected.
The well-connected, yes.
Like, I'm sure there's plenty of factions in Korvosa that have old money, but those who want to be a part of the Queen's inner circle, those would be well protected. The question is, how could we find this out?
Who
Like,
was it that was having a dinner party?
Oh, that was Osseo Carolyn.
The Carowin family.
It is definitely an odd time to be having a dinner party in the city. We could definitely go follow up that lead
I think
in whatever
after tonight-
fashion we want to follow up that lead.
I'm just going to stake the place out and see if I can get an idea of how much coming and going there is, who is coming and going, if they are obviously dealing with afflicted or not. It may not be obvious if they are, but we'll know if there are bodies being hauled out.
I think it's a good idea to poke around there.
Mhm.
At minimum, we may find that there's a dinner party we haven't been invited to.
Ooh.
But possibly this could lead us to a group of people who have found a curious way not to be impacted by this plague.
And are apparently celebrating it. Well, that's my plan for tonight, is to try and track down if there's any obvious sign of favoritism amongst the plague, and to specifically check out the Carowin residents to see if there's what kind of activity is coming and going from that manor, or house, or hall, or wherever it is. As I make Jason quickly pull up 12 different maps.
No, I'm just checking something.
Gosh, and Diason is just evil. I'm going back over those notes.
Yeah, Van Dyson. There's a bunch of words we don't know.
I'm going through my notes and going, we haven't heard from Rolf in a while.
Yeah, that's
Where did he come in?
probably for the best.
Haven't heard Rolf, haven't seen Rolf.
I'm surprised it's not all
we
about...
owe Rolf a debt that will be paid in blood, so.
He should be so pleased that the plague is here, and yet... Where is he, that scamp?
Huh. I'm recalling the map that I found in the ship. Before it made its mystery stop, its previous stop was Magnamar.
Ooh. Maybe to pick up some doctor.
I
Fancy Magnamar doctor.
I mean, I'm all for a good conspiracy theory, but that is quite the theory.
Hello?
It's the sound of like a hammer hitting a nail outside.
Oh,
they
I thought it
putting
was
up
a
the
slow
thing?
clap. I thought we were going to get someone walking in
No,
and
no,
telling
no.
us the entire plan.
Around the doctor's been right there this whole time.
The game is over.
The door like rattles a little bit.
I'll go check the door. What the hell's going on?
Just looking through the
Must be
window.
putting up flyers.
You look through the window. You don't immediately see anyone. It looks like they might have already moved on by the time you got up.
Yeah.
I'll pop open the door and see what they suddenly decided to put onto the.
Just nailing something into your door?
I bet I know what it is, but
It's a flyer, an ad, for Lavender's. Lavender's luxuriant Lavender's luxuriant liniment. Liniment. Fuck. Lavender's luxuriant liniment. Either you've got it or you've had it. And
can't
below
even-
that it says miraculous cure for the blood veil.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
Only 2 gold per dose.
I had things to do tonight, but now I feel like I have to go beat up a snake oil salesman.
yeah. Can I poke my head down the street? Can I see who's doing this?
In the time it took you to read the note out loud to the others, you step outside to look, but you don't see the person.
Do I see a history of flyers going up and down the doors?
Yeah, you look to the at the shop. Oh well, it's dark outside apparently. But you look at the shop next door, and yeah, there's a similar flyer on their door.
Ugh. I'll turn back to Tully and say, it looks like you have 2 problems to deal with this evening. This one seems to be more actively malicious.
Yeah.
Is there an address listed for where you can acquire this cure?
Yes, this is at Lavender's, which is just off Summoning Street in the
Is that like
Heights.
an herb store? Or an alchemic store?
Not sure.
Okay.
Well, society check, I guess.
I mean, yeah. I do live in town. I might have heard
Yeah, you
Of
might have heard of it.
whatever Lavender's is.
I would know where overpriced things are in this city.
Oh, Tully, yeah. You remember hearing about Lavender's. Actually, you remember giving your daughter money to buy something from Lavender's last year. She's known for, it's a perfume shop.
Oh.
And she's known for selling extravagant perfumes.
Bath and Body Works.
Uh, yeah, Bath and Body Works, basically, yeah. But she says like perfumes and elixirs. And there was a time that the guard had to get called in once because she did this free imp with every purchase deal that went awry.
Ah.
That's a lot of imps. Yeah.
So this isn't the first time that they've done a questionable sales promotion.
Yes, correct.
And it won't be the last. Trying to remember what the deal was they got me in on when I bought perfume for my ex, but it was shitty perfume anyway, so guess we should go find out what the deal is.
Do you want to split up? Because you had plans, and Regan and I are otherwise unoccupied this evening.
I suppose we can, if I'm just scouting, you can keep an eye on this perfume situation. I'll give you the directions on how to get there, and let me know via Solara if something goes wrong, I suppose. But if
Sure.
you're- just get some information, we can figure it out and take care of it in the morning. 7:30 and they're walking around with flyers. Jackasses.
It's probably 8:30 by now. You guys are
It's
sitting around
8:30
talking.
and they're walking around hammering flyers into people's buildings, jackasses.
Well, Regan, if you're up for it, we have a perfume shop to go visit.
Oh, boy. I love perfume.
Good smells, maybe?
Yeah, it's not That sounded like sarcasm, but
It did a
I
little
just
bit.
don't want. I don't want to spend my money on perfumes. She'll go smell them all. I like free smells.
Is that Jimmy John's thing? Free smells? I
thing?
feel like
Free
I've seen
smells.
that sign before.
It's at, I think it's at a sandwich shop. I don't know which one.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah,
I said I
free
think it's Jimmy John's that does that.
Oh yeah, Jimmy John's. That's what it is.
Wait, what? What Jimmy John's?
They have a sign that says "free smells" on the outside.
I don't know if I've ever seen that on a Jimmy John's. Maybe I haven't noticed.
Yes,
It's
you
just
have to
one
go
of
look
the-
at them.
Branding things they do. It's cute.
Okay. Where is that? All I have. Okay. Well, it's somewhere over there. Okay, so you're as a group all going over to Lavender's. Is that correct?
No.
No?
I think we're splitting up for a bit.
Who's going where?
I'm going with Felix to Lavender.
Yes. We're gonna go case Lavenders and go see what commotion they have caused in the city.
All right.
And
And
Mayhem's
where's
going
Mayhem
to go
going?
case the Caraways.
Okay. All right. So Mayhem is off to the Carowinds.
Carowinds.
Carowin. I'll drag you over here. It's just north of Green Market is where their manor is. You're familiar
That's
with
right,
it
that's
already. And then the rest of the party, you are on your way over to Lavender's, whose exact location on my map I seem to have forgotten. It's possible that I didn't actually add a specific building for them, so sure, it's somewhere over here. Oh wait, no, I think I did it on the south side of the place. It's probably down here. Just thinking about where it could be based on the map I drew. Yeah, we'll call it here. Somewhere over here. Alright, somewhere on the east side. West side. West side. I know my east and west. Okay, let's start then with... sure, let's start with Mayhem real quick. Or potentially not real quick, I have no idea.
Hopefully quick. We'll see.
We'll see. Wrong song. Mayhem. Yeah, we'll call this like roughly an hour later, 30 minutes, an hour later, something like that. So it's like 9 to 9:30ish. As you make your way through the back alleys, through the Midland District, and down south into South Shore. You pass the Fountain Square, past Green Market, or round Green Market, and I guess are hiding in the bushes near the Carowin Manor.
Yep. I'm going to keep an eye out for guard presence, for personal guard presence, I assume. And if it's minimal, I'm looking to see... Really, I'm wondering who is coming and going. If possible, if
Okay.
there's any activity tonight, if there's any activity overnight. I'm staking this out. I'm just trying to gather information.
All right. Give me a stealth check then.
Question marks.
Okay. So yeah, you're hanging out outside the manor, and you see. Do they actually have a personal guard? Yeah, they do have a door guard. Yeah, you see their door guard at the estate gate entrance. It's like a gated off area with like a big kind of manor inside and like a smaller guest house. There's also a gazebo out back and a pool. And yeah, when you arrive, you can see they've got like a guard out front of the gate. And from the garden, you can hear over the hedges. You can hear like ocarina music. And there eventually hear like a woman's voice, and then older male's voice. Oh, sorry, older? No. One sec, sorry. Yes, yeah, you hear an older male's voice and an older woman's voice. Speaking to each other while the ocarina music is playing. Yeah, eventually the ocarina music stops and there's a bit more chatter.
Can I get closer as they're continuing to chatter?
Yes, you can. Let's see. Well, Ruan, we certainly look forward to your performance at the party. You have shown us that you Verzians do really know how to play a good tune, says the older gentleman. Why, yes, you're so wonderful, so gifted for a man of your age, and so articulate too with your words. You're so friendly. And your skin. Oh, can I touch your skin?
Oh, God.
I'm glad that you guys like my music and all. So I'm hired then? Yes, lad, yes. We'll be paying quite a lot. We just must have the best talent for our parties. We're the Carowinds, you know. We can't be seen as old fuddy-duddies stuck in our ways. The kids these days, they listen to your Parisian tunes, and they go wild with lust. And we want to capture some of that for our magnificent ball. So we will pay you handsomely, of course, and here's your advance. And you hear some jingling of coins. Thank you, sir. And you're more than welcome to stay here in the guest house while you're here. But please, have a good evening. My wife and I must retire. We are old. Do stay safe as well. I hear this nasty disease is going around, and I wouldn't want anyone to, especially any of our guests, to fall ill. That'd be nasty business. Nasty business. The conversation kind of trails off as they walk away.
Do I know the name Ruan? Ruan?
In a society check?
Sure. See how many people in the city I actually know. Might be nobody.
This one you do know. Where is he from? Okay. Yeah, he is a particular, he is, what's his last name? Ruan Mirakova. And I will spell that for you. Ruan, Mirukova. Ruan Mirakova.
That was actually close.
Ruan Mirakova is a local prodigy, maestro ocarinist and flautist, and he can play a lot of musical instruments, but is particularly known for his ocarina. And he's actually played a number of times at the Marble Dome. And as it's a opera house.
Oh, damn. So gotten some decent performances.
It's over here. It's near the capital, or near the castle.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's a member of the Marble Dome's orchestra. And he's currently very popular with a lot of the girls in town, the young ladies. Especially, like, Varisians. Like, he's very popular amongst the Varisians.
Might be why I've heard of him if,
Yeah,
Lizzie.
Lizzie has mentioned him before.
Yeah. Well, fair enough. I'll keep an eye out a little while longer, and just see if there's any further activity for the night, but it is interesting to know that they are still planning their party despite this all going on.
Give me a blind perception check.
More question marks.
While you're there, casing the joint, you're there for a while after the conversation ends, and nobody seems to come or go. But then you notice or realize something. There's a shadow across the way behind a tree. Someone else is casing this joint. You see, like, a figure who's clearly, like, kind of looking out towards the manor. And you only kind of just catch them as they're, like, darting away.
Damn it. Okay.
You hear like a little jingle, maybe of jewelry, maybe of a bell, maybe of a chain, something like that, and that's what sort of catches your attention. You, like, turn and look, and you see this shadow kind of move through the trees across the street.
So, a couple of possibilities for that, but I think I will make my way back to the others, depending on where they have ended up in this meantime, with the
All right.
knowledge that I am not the only person interested in the Carowinds.
Let's see. Right. Where did I put you guys? Somewhere. Oh, here. Up in the heights. Okay.
Yeah, it is pretty late at night. I don't know if a perfume shop's going to be open, but maybe we could still learn something.
It is not, but let me...
Anything is open if you punch a window.
With the right tools, every door is open.
I mean, I have my thieves kit, so
Slaps the window with their very low strength. It bobbles, barely does anything. Actually hurts her hand. It's like,
Sorry, I have to do some, like, very quick adjustments. So, as you arrive on Summoning Street, you can tell what place it is fairly quickly, because there is a huge line of people.
oh gosh.
Who
I thought you were
all
saying 'cause
seem
it
to be... No. There's just, like, a big cluster of people camped out on the street. Outside the building. And let me... Where are you guys? Who's this? Regan, and I'll just grab you from the Corvosa map. That'll be easier. Yoink. Oops. Didn't have it to the sidebar. Okay, let's put you here. Activate. Alright. So yeah, you guys arrive on the street that Lavender is on. And you see, yeah, just a throng of people who are all kind of camped out roughly in a line, more of a mass. You hear coughing, you hear scratching. Many of them are kind of, like, got coats and stuff sort of bundled up on the street. It's a little cold this late at night. Or this late in the evening. People are shivering, people are sneezing. Doesn't look great out here. And you can see the kind of, like, purple tinted shop windows up ahead that people are kind of crowded around. What do you do?
I think we'll just do a pass walking by to see the scene that is unfolding before us. What I'm specifically interested to know is like, is the shop a part of a bigger building that we might be able to enter another way? Because I do not think we are getting in the front door through this line.
Okay. Yeah, you're free to walk down the street if you want. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
know what Regan's up to.
Oh yeah. I was like, is the shop's like not open? Are these like people camping out for tomorrow?
It seems like it, yeah. The shop's not currently open.
Well, goodness.
The
they'll be
lanterns
getting
are
out.
still lit, but doesn't look like anybody's getting inside. There's a gate that seems to go into the alley where maybe the shop entrance is, but it currently looks closed and nobody's going inside right now. And everyone's asleep.
Is there anyone
the-
in the shop? Like, are the
Um,
windows drawn?
The windows are not drawn, no. You can see the shop from here, but you can't quite see in the windows unless you get closer.
I'll get a bit closer and see what I can see of the windows and like what the
Okay.
shop might have open, have posted on it.
Yeah, you get a bit closer, keeping your distance from the crowd of sickly people sort of splayed out on the sidewalk in front of it. And you can see there's a massive, there's a long velvet table in these purple tinted windows, and through the glass you can see these just like stacks of these like small violet potion bottles, or elixir bottles, whatever you want to call them, with I think they have crimson stoppers. It's not important, but they described them, and I forget what they said. Yeah, these violet bottles that have sort of handwritten on them Lavender's luxurious liniment.
Hmm.
And like they've been put here in the picture window of the shop so that everyone can stare at them but not touch them.
Yes.
It's one thing to build a trap, it's another to put a giant arrow that says like points at the trap. This is some Looney Tunes level.
There's a
Villain.
sign in the window that says open at 7 a.m.
Indeed. Is there anyone keeping guard? Like, it's obvious there's a line and there's the storefront, but like, is there anyone who's, I don't know, trying to pull a mayhem and stay just out of sight but watch this moment unfold?
Perception? You look around down the street both ways. Now it seems like it's largely just this crowd of people here.
Okay. This enterprise is exploitive and distasteful, but I can't immediately spot anything beyond that. What about you, Regan?
I don't know. I guess these people are willing to hang out all night just to get first dibs on that. I'm going to assume colored water. There's no way that that's a cure.
Smelly colored water. Lavender is just
smelly.
overpowering.
I agree. I hate lavender.
Yeah, I'm not a lavender fan. It's like, woo. I guess there's no one in there. It's not like we can go in and like there's a giant window. This crowd will see us if we sneak in. Unless we go in super far back.
I was gonna say there's probably a back of the shop. We have
Yeah.
to figure out how we would get there though, because this crowd here is gigantic.
Yeah, so the building itself, it looks like a relatively kind of small, what is this, like a 30 by 20, 25 foot building. Single floor, doesn't appear to be a story on top of it. It's surrounded by other buildings. The building next door is a 2-floor building. There's like a staircase leading up to a door. That's currently being blocked by all these people outside.
You said that this doorway led to an alley. Does that alley come out somewhere else?
You're not sure. At least not from this angle.
Maybe we can walk the block and see if there's another way into that alley.
I sneak around. If not, I can send my little familiar over if we have to unlock the other side. But maybe not in front of these crowds of people.
Yeah, at least
Yeah.
not without a distraction of some sort. Like they need to be looking the other way. And then, I don't know what is due to be more distracting than the literal prize someone has left in a window here.
Take out your broken flute or horn. Just burr. Burr, burr, burr.
I'm so
Go.
tempted. You have no idea.
Maybe not at 9:30 at night when we can wake up the whole town.
I mean, do you know what direction they'd be looking?
Yeah. It's like, shut up. It's a burp. I'd have to be the one who did it.
Yeah, I think we'll walk around the block
Yeah.
and look to see if we can find the other side of the other place where that alley comes out. And then maybe we'll hold on to a trumpet show for Plan B.
Yes.
Well, what are you doing?
We're going around the back of the building. Like
Yeah.
around the
Alright.
block.
Which
to
way?
see if there's. Oh. Should we go back the way we came or should we keep going straight?
Looking in this direction down the street, it looks like there's not a lot of gaps between the buildings that way.
Well, back we go.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go back that way and see if we can't find a way to cut between the buildings.
All right. You reverse it. Round the corner, you can see that this crowd of people is still here. But just past the crowd of
Ooh.
people, there does appear to be an alleyway.
We can squish. You want to go squish?
Yeah.
Just don't mind me. Just staying far away.
Okay, you try to squeeze past some of the crowd. And then make your way into the alley.
Ooh.
It's not a super tight squeeze, but yeah, there does appear to be an alleyway back here. There's a door just there to your left. There's some other building down here.
Explore
as
down
you-
this way.
As you go deeper in the alley, so yeah, you're standing right next to a door. There's a door up ahead that appears to be boarded up, that you can kind of just see dimly in the light. Oh yeah, because you guys have light that Regan has cast.
I love that we come with our own flashlights.
It's not like back door. Or
Yeah,
back,
but sort of
back
leading the
door.
wrong way.
There's another door up ahead. These look like they're maybe like apartment buildings, or not apartment buildings, like small houses, or like kind of grandfather unit type deals.
Okay.
Small residential houses.
Are there any windows or other things on the building to the north of me?
No, the shop does not seem to have any windows in the back.
Just a
But
solid wall.
You do round a corner, and you do see like there is a way back into the alley, and you can see the backside of that door that leads into this alley. So just beyond here is is where the crowds are. And this little purple carpet is right in front of what appears to be the main entrance.
Is that a door or a gate? Can they clearly see me?
Yeah, they could. It's a gate. If you walked up, I mean, they could probably see the light through if you got close to it.
Well, we do have one entrance, but it seems that we're going to have to be a little bit clever if we want to use it. How interested are you in performing this adventure? Because we do have the tools. We can make it happen.
We do have the tools. What are our tools?
I mean, I will brandish my scroll of invisibility.
Oh, I have 2 invisibility charges on myself as well.
And somewhere in this mess of a character sheet is a thieves' kit.
Hey, that's something I don't have. So break and enter with 10 minutes, because invisibility at level 2 is what I have it at, and that's 10 minutes.
I'm trying to make sure I didn't just imagine the thieves' kit into existence.
You did have a thieves.
I have
Thieves'
used it in the
tools.
past.
It might be currently back at the at your house.
So no, it
What is it?
isn't. So I don't know where it is. I'm looking at the script and scrimshaw's inventory, and I don't see the
Yeah, I thought you had an infiltrator's thieves tools. Where'd it go?
same.
It's on the bag or anything?
No, the backpack there is empty.
It's not there. Is it worn? It's not worn. Maybe you handed it to someone. Maybe you sold it. I don't know.
No, it's on the freaking boat.
Oh.
Oh my
On
gosh.
the
That's of course where
boat.
we would store it, on the boat.
Yeah, that's where
Ah.
I'd put
I can't
it.
believe we didn't look there first.
You suddenly remember that you took off the thieves' tools when you got off the raft or the rowboat to go diving, and
Yeah.
left them in the back seat.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't have that. Maybe my Django could help? I don't know.
Fly all the way back as we sit here and twiddle our
That's not what
thumbs.
I meant.
Oh.
I think I meant like go through a window or something, but no,
Oh, I see.
I now feel embarrassed. We came without the proper tools to do this job.
We is
You start to
strong,
hear
right?
footsteps coming from like down the alley.
Who is out at this hour? Coming down this alley. Well, I guess there's multiple doors.
Is there the map sort of ends? Is there a corner we can duck behind so that we're not necessarily seen?
You'd have to kind of run in that direction to get out of the alley that way.
Regan, I don't know about you, but I think we need to make Welligan's good.
Whee!
And with that, the two of you dart off down the alley.
Because I have a scroll of knock, but that only helps if we can help open the door.
How does the scroll of knock work?
It gives you a +4 to stats bonus to any creature that tries to open the target door, lock, or container with athletics or thievery check. You attempt a thievery check to open the target as part of casting knock. You add your level even if you're untrained. Oh, okay. I guess it gives me a +4. But I don't remember my thievery being any good.
I think your thievery was. I thought you had a little bit
It's a
of thievery.
+3. I have a little bit of thievery, so I get a +7.
Can you cast it on me? Because my thievery is fantastic.
You
Cast
also
it
add your
on the
level if you're
door.
untrained. So,
Oh shit.
yeah, according to
So
the new
that would
the
be
new
like
knock
a
spell.
credible bonus.
Yeah.
But I would have to do it.
Yeah, it just makes you an expert basically for a minute, which is cool.
Well, if we want to let the person pass, we can definitely have you make a try at that knock check.
One door lock a container. Yeah, it either helps someone else with the toolkit or it just helps me. My knocking skills. Yep, I have invisibility. I have 3 invisibilities. I have 1 knock. That's the best I can do.
Let's wait for a quiet moment and go for it.
Yeah, does the person pass or they like go into the lavender building?
They seem to have started to go in your direction, and after you ran, they haven't come further your way.
Oh,
Interesting.
suspicious.
I mean, currently you can't. You're too far to see them. Is that you leaning to
Yeah.
peek?
Is
Uh,
that-
Well, it's very dark. Are you using the light? Are you shining the light down the alley?
Send the light. If there's a person down there, I'm casting light on them. That would be awful. Imagine just minding your own business and then light gets cast on you.
I think you're minding somebody else's business if you're breaking into their home. Or
Well, I
If you
business.
cast
really
light
see.
on somebody and then, like, imagine them trying to sleep, and there's just this bright light that's attached to them and they can't get away from it because
That's
it's
terrible.
Yeah. Ah!
only dismissible by the caster.
And I'm not dismissing it. You'll never sleep. But yeah, we could go back. We could wait for Tully tomorrow. We can come when they're open. We can.
You can also just
invisible right
wait
now.
longer here.
Yeah, wait all night.
We can give it a couple of minutes here, and if we don't see anyone come out, we may actually be second to this party.
Mm. Wait.
Yeah, how long do you want to wait? I assume you at least wait for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I was gonna say 10 minutes.
But 10 minutes later, nobody's come your direction. At least, how would you check? What means would you use?
Like being here.
Leaning's not going to help super
I-
a lot because you can't see that far down the dark alley without dark vision.
Only I had dark vision.
Could
Majinko, go.
yeah, Majenko could actually go fly back
Go fly.
in a
Does
somewhat
Majenko
less.
have dark vision?
That's a good question. He has something. He might have low light.
He does have dark vision.
Oh, good for him. Go. Oh yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
Go. Tell us what you see.
All right.
And he flits off. And then 10 minutes later, he returns.
Looks like it's 2 guys. They've got like a barrel.
A barrel. What are they doing with the barrel?
They're taking it down the alley the other way.
Oh, maybe they went into the building and got something with this big barrel. What do you think they're taking away?
Let's go follow them. That was really the only storefront down that alley, and they have, I presume, taken something out of the store. A barrel of cure.
Okay, you're gonna go try and follow them. To catch up with them, I'm gonna need something like a survival check.
I can sure try.
I can try as well.
All right.
Maybe you won't survive. That's okay.
I'm trying to think about
Survival
things that are like survival checks that I'm good at.
This is to follow their tracks.
Yes.
Survival is typically the default.
Nah, I rolled a survival. I don't think that I can deceive my way into this.
Okay. Well, you are either surprisingly good at following them, or they're not particularly good at hiding their trail. Because, let me see. Guys, you're on the move.
Ooh.
They're dressed in lavender. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's two big dudes in like lavender suits.
Lavender lads.
Suit and tie, nice little messenger cap. A lot of purple they're wearing. They're looking very suave. But yeah, okay. You're following them down the street. Give me a stealth check to avoid being seen.
Stealth check.
I'm gonna get seen immediately.
I'm trying to see if the clandestine cloak I'm wearing gives me any benefit to this, or if it just makes me.
It does, actually. I'm pretty sure. Clandestine cloak. Oh, it gives you deception check. Plus the deception checks. Oh, plus 1 item bonus is stealth checks. Yeah.
Plus 1 item bonus. I will take it. That's one more than I
Attempts
had.
to impersonate a generic background character, so I'd say this counts. Trying not to look like anyone particularly interesting.
We're just two people walking, having an evening.
Yeah, they don't seem to notice you as you guys make your way down the kind of main road. They're walking pretty quickly for carrying this rather large, but like it looks like it should be a heavy barrel, but they're carrying it fairly easily. You curve
We're all
down.
wearing purple as well.
Yeah, you are also wearing
Everyone
purple.
is
It's convenient.
Purple.
Hey,
curve
they're
down-
cramping my style.
You curve down University Street. I think that's what the street is. I don't know. Make your way into the University District. They take a turn towards North Point, and you continue to follow them. You pass the Jittery Quill, an inn, and pass the Jagari Museum.
It's a coffee shop inn, right?
I think so, yes. I think they're like a rival to you, actually.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's see. It'd actually take a long route. Oh, whoops. Sorry, they shouldn't have gone that way.
I was gonna say the Civic Square is
I got
pretty
lost.
public for what they're doing.
Yeah, they're not going to the Civic Square. They're going south. Down towards Midland. Past the University of Corvosa Public Library, where you at earlier this evening. Continuing further down into Midland. They cut through an alley.
Looks like they're heading to the docks.
Make their
Oh,
way
it's always
past the
the
warehouses. And down at the docks. From the alleyway, you watch as these two guys lower this barrel into the river. Scoop up a bunch of water.
I just put it together. This is pretty awful.
And they heave it out.
Regan, do you get it?
No, I'm dumb.
What do you think the potion's made out of?
It's dirty water.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that they're
just
they're
dirt
just
water.
making doses.
Oh, I think that's a fair. I'm like, what? Are they putting poop in it?
No, like they are making the liniment, and it's
It's just
literally harbor
water.
water.
Mmm.
I mean, there's probably some other stuff in there, so it smells not like shit. But
Yeah, lavender harbor water.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Well, I could have. Well, it's clearly
They-
snake oil.
They
Like-
close it and cork it up, and the two of them start carrying it back up the street.
Well, I'm assuming they're just going back.
I'm assuming that they're slower now and it's much heavier.
Yes, it is much heavier now.
All right. Well,
Are they retracing their steps? Is it possible for us to get ahead of them?
Oh yeah, sure. You could try.
To say what I am thinking, I want to cast grease.
yes.
You're just trying to get ahead of them like immediately and cast grease.
Yeah, I want to know, kind of with the idea that I know the path they took, so the likely path that they are going back. I want to find a moment where I can get ahead of them, and
Okay,
get
sure.
them
While
into a
they're,
place where I can cast grease.
we'll say you get the idea while they're still like corking up the barrel, and you just kind of go up the road and see that they're like starting to come your way, and you cast grease in the road.
With my trap laid, I will then go behind them and throw some caltrops down.
Oh my god.
Wait, where? Just on the road?
The idea being that they're gonna slip on the grease and go backwards into the caltrops.
Oh, I see. You're doing like, well,
I'm doing a Wile E. Coyote style trap.
when they slide forwards into it, unless you're putting the grease on the caltrops.
Then they
They
fall
Depends
down
on where
onto
gravity. If this is flat, if this is flat, they go forwards. If this is a hill, they go backwards.
This is relatively flat. This part's probably not a hill.
Then I go ahead of the grease spot to put the caltrops down.
All right.
There's physics in this puzzle, and I'm working it out in real time.
Okay, so you did some grease and caltrops and then got out of the way
Yes.
before they started to come? Okay. I guess cast grease so I can grab the reflex save.
Do buttons. There's that reflex save button.
All right. That is a failure. And
Here are the caltrops.
17. Let's try this one.
I assume this destroys them if successful.
That's a 9.
Just murdered.
That's a
They were
crit
dead.
fail. Okay, so a fail and a crit fail. So they do both slip. What's the crit fail on grease?
Fall prone and take damage, or just fall prone?
Prone. I guess there's not necessarily a crit fail effect. Okay. And then caltrops is an acrobatics check for both of them. We'll call them both prone. And you home alone them in
Yes.
the street.
Yeah.
And I have more ideas. I'm not done yet.
Oh.
Basic mischief.
Okay.
You're just trolling.
Yeah, Regan's just watching this, like, oh, that's
All right,
nice.
so they both slip and fall. The barrel like hits the ground and rolls through the grease. One of them saves against the caltrops, the other doesn't.
Does the
It
barrel?
is save or take this damage? Hold on. So could you? Oh, it's just bleed damage. 1d4 piercing and 1 bleed. Oh, 1d4. And okay. One of them takes 1 point of piercing and is bleeding. The other one does fall prone, but is fine. Sure, I'll also make him take a d6 of 1d6. Sure, 1d6 bludgeoning from the fall. So one of them's hurt. Yeah. Ah. The other one was just slipped and kind of pushed some of the caltrops aside. The barrel is on the ground. What were you intending on doing next?
I'm gonna throw my voice. This is the sound of the guards coming.
Shit, Marco, get up!
And they're like scrambling to try to crawl out of the grease. One of them's bleeding, but they will run down an alley, leaving the barrel behind.
Beautiful. That was the goal.
Well, now we have a barrel.
Nah.
A barrel of gross water.
I'm gonna push the barrel of gross water back into the harbor from whence it came.
Are there any markings on the barrel that might
Yeah, I was
know
about
where
to-
it originated before you get rid of the evidence that we have?
Okay, before I get rid of the evidence, I will inspect it.
That's what I was
Okay,
gonna ask.
just
Like,
in
is there a
case.
marking on the barrel?
Yes, there is a faded lavender's kind of stencil label on it.
We got one of the names, Marco.
And Marco. We got it. Yeah, one name.
I hope the other one's named Polo.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Marco and Polo.
I will take note of the markings of the barrel and send it into the harbor.
All right. You spend some time rolling it over to the harbor, and
It's
dump
greased
it.
up. It should want to go now.
True. Yes, it's
We
easy
can't-
to roll it.
We can't litter. Why are you littering?
It prevents them from furthering this deceit.
Do you think this is their only barrel?
Oh no, but I've at least probably scared them a bit, so they won't try it again this evening.
Just the barrel's like floating around.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just floating there. Well,
Nobody
it's
knows
full
how
of
to
water,
sink
actually, so
anything.
probably is not the most buoyant.
Yeah, and it's cracked a bit. Sure, it's sinking.
There it goes.
Well, we've done a little bit of good this evening, but that I think we need to let Mayhem know about that particular business operation.
Yeah, they're a bit less water, but they still have some, and they're just gonna be having these already sick people drink dirty water.
If anything, this is the sort of stuff that I would hope that the Queen's Guard would actually go work on kicking out of the city. People are desperate, and this cannot be the only scam that has cropped up.
We could also let the Cressida know about it, the scam.
Definitely,
well.
and we should.
Yeah.
But I think this is enough mischief for one evening.
Ooh.
I look away, and chat has given you chat being Idaho has given you like 3 more points. Felix. So you have 6 points somehow. Oh, I see. There was a crit in the chat.
More
That's
That was
amazing.
funny. All right, so the 2 of you return to the script and Scripshaw.
Yes.
Since it's
Alright,
apparently right there. We could just stay here and stuff will come to us.
You're not very far. Hey, Midland's the middle of the land. It's very easy central point to all parts of town.
Yeah, it's where you go to do. It's the central point for when you want to go do crimes.
Crimes.
Is Mayhem coming back here?
I think Mayhem, depending on the time of night, will either head home, or if it's not super late, like if Lizzie would not have gone home yet, then he'd head to the Script and Scrimshaw instead.
Yeah, it's like close to 10.
I think that's kind of late. Is that late for the Script and Scrimshaw? I don't know.
It's a bar.
would be
It
a-
can be open pretty late.
Then we'll head
Yeah.
over there. We'll
It would
head
be
over.
around last call, but it's not last call yet.
All right. Well,
Go and join.
I guess
imagine-
Lizzie might have actually gone home at this point if she's not staying here. Oh, actually, no. She's upstairs. She's hanging out with Brianna. And they're doing like a slumber party.
That's fun.
I imagine the inn is actually fairly busy this evening, considering we have nearly every room with someone in it.
Yeah. Decent amount of people here. Probably no guests, but it's all right.
Yeah, I guess Tace and her kids have one room. Shields from Flame has the other. The third room's empty. And then your room. Yeah, you all meet up again downstairs.
Guess
Oh,
what we found?
It was 100% a scam.
Surprise!
This is my shocked face.
But we took the opportunity to at least foil their plans for this evening and scare them just a little bit.
That's good. That's good. We'll have to visit in the morning then and see what else we can do to stop it entirely if it's still going.
Yes.
Hopefully, the field marshal, when told about this, can do something to put a stop to it. But I feel like this cannot be the only scam that suddenly cropped up in the city. People are getting desperate.
Oh, you're right. Some people are getting desperate, at least.
What did you find as you were watching the Rich and Famous?
They were being rich, and they hired somebody for entertainment for a dinner party.
In the middle of a plague.
Yes. Apparently they are not concerned. Though they did express some worry. It didn't sound to me that they had any sort of strange, intimate knowledge. Or maybe they just play their cards close to the chest. I didn't get that impression, but I could be wrong. But I'm also not the only person who's interested in the Carowinds. There was somebody else there.
Ooh. Who was it?
I couldn't make them out in the darkness. They got away. But maybe we're on the right track.
Maybe. Did you catch when this party is? It's not the first party I've ever crashed.
Did I catch, was it a couple of days? 3 days? 2 days?
It seemed like it was still a couple days out, but you didn't
Okay.
hear a specific day.
Okay. So, we'll have to check in. Maybe I can
Yeah, you could certainly gather information to try to find out.
gather that out exactly. I'm sure that there's some information somewhere.
Maybe people from school will know about a fancy shindig.
I think I might be able to figure this out from Nia, because if they're going to have a fancy dinner party, they're going to have to buy things for it.
Couple of good leads.
But yeah,
But not for tonight. I
Not
think
for tonight.
is-
but we can have some more fun making a grand entrance.
How grand of an entrance were you thinking?
I mean, they would be the talk of the town if Mayhem showed up and crashed their dinner party.
I suppose that's one way to look at it, but I feel like that
Oh,
kind
my
of gives it
word.
away.
Well, hopefully that's the only person to be crashing it, not some weird stranger.
Something about jingling. Not like coins, more like a chain. Or a bell. I don't know. I suppose I can tail the flautist if I really wanted to keep an eye on what might be going on with the Carowinds, but tomorrow morning we'll deal with the lavender situation. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
They probably have another barrel. This will only delay them.
I do
Play
appreciate you
below
trying
the
to lay them,
house.
though. It's simple acts like that that are how we got here.
I understand that like things are getting bad in the city, but it's no excuse to go and try and exploit people. Once I figured out what was going on, I had to find a way to at least slow them down.
Well, I'll leave Lizzie here, I suppose, for the night and head back home. Meet
I hope
all
you
here
can
in
get
the
some
morning.
sleep.
We'll try.
Well, I guess I should get back to the academy that I won't be sneaking into.
You're welcome to take the last room,
Yeah.
but I presume you have your own solutions to problems.
See, Felix hasn't been acting like a narc, so Regan will be like, time to sneak back into school.
This is a no judgment zone.
Yeah.
You are free to do as you wish.
One of
And
them is cool dad.
Yeah.
We have
The other is
yes.
dad.
Do you need any rope or any other supplies to make your
No,
way in?
I think I got it. I think
Eat a snack for the road.
if what I have doesn't cut it, rope will be the least of my problems.
That's fair.
All right.
Well,
I head back, and if there is nothing really protecting it, I just have my.
You have another animal form to get back in?
I do
pest form?
indeed have another pest
Alright.
form to get back in. I
Well.
have several things.
As Regan ratifies herself to sneak back into school, Mayhem crashes back in his own bed, and Felix makes his way upstairs past the sound of giddy girls giggling in the night. We shall, I think, end there for the evening. Yay!
Woo.
Uh,
Learn and stuff.
so many things. Many threads to pull.
There's so
Uh,
many names. So many, so many names.
Yes, the mystery unfurls. Will our heroes be able to get to the bottom of this mysterious plague? Tune in 2 weeks from now to find out, hopefully. I am going to be doing birthday things next week on the 11th, so happy birthday, me.
Happy
Yes.
birthday.
Otherwise, yeah, we'll be back on the 18th, I hope. So, see you then. Until then, stay safe. Enjoy life. Have fun. Good night.
Still. Non-stop waving.